Nike finally decides to get into the Caitlin Clark business as they have officially revealed Caitlin Clark's signature CC logo merchandise coming as soon as October 1st. And there is an Easter egg in the commercial dropped by Nike that could give us an idea when her signature shoes will be released.
Caitlin Clark was signed by Nike in April 2024. However, the company thereafter fell silent. No merchandise, no launch, nothing. The fans were anticipating something. The whole WNBA is talking over Nike's recent unexpected logo release.
Here is Caitlin Clark's official Nike signature logo.
It's more than just a design. It seems like the beginning of a larger scheme. Some even refer to it as luxury level, going above sportswear. Was Nike hesitating to speak, or was it a calculated move to intensify the impact of this moment? In any case, it was truly amazing how the players and supporters of the Indiana Fever united around Clark to promote her company.
Well, this just happened a few minutes ago, and it was a long time in the waiting. Many fans were wondering where Nike has been with any Caitlin Clark merchandise whatsoever.
The logo tee is now available. Her signature footwear will be the actual deal in 2026. Let's watch the video and let me know what you think in the comments. Did Nike wait too long in your opinion, or did they do a fantastic job launching?
So it's finally here. It's finally here. The Caitlin Clark logo.
The period of stillness following Caitlin Clark's April 2024 Nike signing swiftly gained notoriety as the year of silence. Supporters anticipated a quick rollout, advertisements, merchandise, and possibly an entire clothing line. Rather, nothing. No huge announcements, no merchandise, and no activation plan. The delay was notable for a company that typically puts all of its money into its stars. It wasn't just a paucity of merchandise either. Considering how Nike has treated other WNBA names, the quiet seems strange. In recent years, several players have received immediate, noticeable pushes. Shoes, jerseys, or joint ventures that maintained their reputations. Clark took a different route. Nike maintained a low profile despite shattering NCAA records and making their WNBA debut amid a lot of excitement, possibly to avoid overshadowing other well-known figures like A.A. Wilson. Fans and pundits were left wondering what the true strategy was because of that contrast.
And in the article they say, while Caitlin getting her own shoes is an exciting moment for women's basketball, reporting on the deal has resulted in some backlash on social media. The problem some fans have with the deal is that the only WNBA players with a signature shoe are white. Some argue that the Las Vegas Aces Asia Wilson should have gotten her own shoe before Clark, who hadn't even played a WNBA game yet. Oh, okay, it's not that Caitlin isn't good at basketball, it's that it's not fair. And it's racist. Okay, why would Nike care about what's fair and not about what makes money?
Speculation increased with the length of the stillness. Questions filled social media posts. Was Nike hesitating due to uncertainty about demand? Were they purposefully holding out for a more significant cultural event? There were theories all over the place, particularly since Clark was breaking attendance and viewership records without any official Nike merchandise to show for it. The lack of goods felt mysterious because of the disconnect between the fanfare surrounding her and Nike's public reaction. However, in hindsight, it was set up rather than hesitancy. In order to create anticipation, Nike has a history of slow playing. These stories and Clark's rollout seems to be one of their longest plays to date. They're spreading it out rather than releasing it all at once. The emblem will be unveiled first, followed by an early October clothing drop, and in 2026, a trademark shoe, with the original reports indicating when her entire clothing line would appear in October. They even mentioned a soft cotton tee as the first item of merchandise.
According to Nike, the shirt is available, but it's not available just yet, but you can be notified for when it does go on sale. I can only imagine it's going to get sold out lickety-split.
This stage timeline was not a lost chance. It was a plan intended to increase Clark's prominence every year. Calling it silence, therefore, understates what was truly taking place. Nike was still involved. They were planning a long-term strategy. The final unveiling was only made more difficult by each additional month of waiting. Nike gained more momentum than it could have from an instant push, because by the time the logo was finally unveiled, the tension had transformed into energy. This statement was then made public. This soft cotton logo tee is a great way to celebrate her logo debut. Two interconnecting C's that are straightforward but immediately divisive. What appeared to be a simple design when Nike unveiled Caitlin Clark's logo swiftly became the subject of an internet discussion. According to Nike, the mark symbolizes her ever-expanding range, with the smaller concealed C signifying how her game was constructed from the ground up. The company officially referred to it as interlocking Cs. Right out.
If you kind of like squint your eyes, it also kind of looks like a very dimensional one C in front of the other one. I don't know if that's just me.
It had one meaning because of that sentence. Fans, however, didn't stop there. Something distinct appeared to be hidden within the lines for everyone to notice. While some claimed that the curving shape looked like a three-point arc, others seized upon the notion of the hidden C, signifying her development and versatility as a player. The logo had more richness than you might anticipate from such a basic graphic, because to the layered interpretation, Clark excitedly shared the logo on social media after embracing it wholeheartedly and describing it as a dream come true. Media
said it to me, this is more than just a logo, it's a dream come true. People always talk about leaving your mark on the game, and this is another way I could do that. Caitlin Clark on her Nike logo, bro, and this is just a big time thing, bro. I'm super proud of Caitlin, happy for her as an athlete, happy for her as a fan of the game. And
however, the internet responses were what truly fueled the discussion. Some fans even included Louis Vuitton in their comparisons of the interlocking C's to high fashion trademarks like Gucci and Chanel. The contrasts weren't made at random. The simple, uncluttered structure is what set off those associations. The design had a sense of luxury clothing rather than being a standard sports insignia.
Already mentioned, the statement says that the two interwoven C's reflect Caitlin's connection with the fans around the globe, and the smaller hidden C represents how Caitlin's game was built from the inside out.
It appeared as natural on a sweatshirt as it did on a purse. According to comments made on social media, the mark doesn't feel trapped in the basketball realm, in part because of his adaptability. It straddles lifestyle, culture, and athletics. In actuality, sports logos don't usually hold up over time. Frequently, they are overly occupied, overly comical, or overly dependent on game gear and jerseys. Clark's mark took a different approach. It has clean lines, no clutter, and enough room for fans to insert their own interpretations. That kind of branding is seen outside of the court because it doesn't shout sports merchandise exclusively. It functions well in a variety of contexts. You may picture it as a sophisticated lifestyle emblem, large across a hoodie, or delicate on the tongue of sneakers. For this reason, a lot of people referred to it as polished rather than ostentatious.
People think it's very clean and sharp, and a lot of people are critiquing it, saying it kind of looks like a Gucci ripoff or like a Coco Chanel ripoff, and that it's lifeless and boring. When really it's hard to tell what a logo is going to be like until it gets placed on the shoe or the product. Like the Asia One logo here is kind of just a weird logo by itself. It seems very like asymmetric, but once you do see it on the Asia One shoes, it doesn't look that bad.
Now everybody was impressed now. The logo was criticized for being uninteresting and for being too similar to other fashion firms. Some felt that it lost some individuality along the road and leaned too much into the opulent aesthetic. Be honest though, such conflicting reviews just boosted the launch's enthusiasm. People talked because of the dispute. Additionally, when a logo elicits dispute and numerous interpretations, it typically indicates that Nike achieved its goals and is relevant.
But regardless about how anybody feels about it, the second these things drop, they are going to fly off the shelves.
Therefore, it was more than just a cotton tee appearing on a website. The drop established the notion that Caitlin Clark's brand identity is designed to be more expansive than basketball, with a logo that is eye-catching yet basic enough to scale. Off the field, it was already generating conversation. However, nobody anticipated that rollout when the Indiana Fever unveiled it during the Storm game, so the true surprise was when it hit the floor. There was stillness when the Fever was revealed. The logo just appeared out of nowhere during warm-ups and in-game moments against Seattle. No official posts, teasers, or hoopla. While footage circulated online via staff and fan accounts rather than the team's main page, those inside the arena witnessed the shock in real time. Buzz was fueled by that separation. Others viewed it as clever misdirection that made the unexpected landing even more difficult, while others saw it as an odd lack of support.
Let's see. I like it. Give me luxury brand. It gives me luxury brand. I ain't lying, guys.
This is a tactic then. The way teams typically respond to these situations was completely turned upside down by the Fever. They surprised supporters at the Indiana versus Seattle game by handing each fan a jersey featuring Caitlin Clark's new emblem in place of weeks of countdowns and hype videos. It was fantastic. A genuine gotcha moment that was more significant, audible, and unforgettable than anyone could have predicted.
Every fan that shows up to Gamebridge tonight will get the first release of Caitlin Clark's signature merchandise from Nike.
It went even farther on the court. In complete support, Clark's teammates and even coach Stephanie White wore the emblem. Promotions did not hint to the revelation. Players, crew, and spectators were all united behind it when it burst live in the arena.
Hell, I didn't think they was going to do nothing. Oh, did they do something? They got the entire outside of Gamebridge completely Caitlin Clark themed. Not only just that, every fan shows up tonight get a Caitlin Clark t-shirt. I mean, guys, I cannot make this up. Caitlin Clark is simply the talk of the internet today. Her and Taylor Swift broke the damn internet.
On the internet, the response came instantly because fans were seeing more than just a logo. What may have seemed like a dangerous rollout instead became a surge of excitement. They witnessed a whole franchise and crew unite behind their star. That group hug changed the narrative from a personal turning point to a communal identity, demonstrating that the Fever aren't just supporting Clark, they're constructing a future together. And when Nike eventually releases her iconic sneaker in 2026, just think of the amount of excitement that will result from a surprise logo drop and free shirts. Many fans believe that Nike is making a course correction with this logo drop following backlash to a previous Rookie of the Year jersey. It's also obvious that this isn't an isolated incident. It serves as the slow build blueprint. Now drop the logo. Apparel items such as a signature sneaker scheduled for 2026 and the soft cotton tee and wider line mentioned for early October. This type of planned launch demonstrates how Nike is presenting Clark as a long-term brand pillar rather than just another rookie.
Caitlin's game was built from the inside out. And a quote from Caitlin says, "To me, this is more than a logo, it's a dream come true." But a lot of people do like it. They are like reading heavily into the design. One person says the way it resembles a three-point line in the middle, clean lines, minimalistic, there's a touch of sophistication and a hint of elegance we see resembled in her own personal style. Not too flashy, it's not working too hard. And Ken Swift puts a funny post up where he says, Caitlin shoots it from here, which is like just outside of what the three-point line would be.
I'd like to hear from you now. Do you think this is high fashion or sports branding? And will Clark or another WNBA player gain more from this type of phased rollout? Please explain in the comments. Additionally, press subscribe and join the discussion if you would like to receive updates when the clothing arrives and the sneaker schedule solidifies.